Namo So Shi Ye, Namo Wu Namo Shi Ye So Ha, O Namo Manju Shi Ye, Namo So Shi Ye, Namo Wu Namo Shi Ye So Ha. Ye Zhe Dang Zu Ge Chong Na La, Jiang Zhu Ba Du Dang De Gap Zu Jie, Da Ge Chun Yin Ji Be Cong Nang Ji, Zhu La Ben Jie Sang Ge Zhu Ba Shu. 觉到足给出囊了，将就把都当地给足迹，大给去年给别出囊去，若了本节上给就把修，觉到足给出囊了，将就把都当地给足迹，大给去年给别出囊去，若了本节上给就把修，每个就业没多少，瑞让那些你得给把的，上给心都没得不我也就跟当到心了就把修。 Guru Krishna Mandala Gandhiya Dayami.
Approaches like he said, 20 minutes about Asia, that time the line to in the other second. So the woman had to
We will go straight to setting motivation. For the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For this, I'm going to listen to the commentary on Lam Rim teachings and practice accordingly in order to benefit sentient beings.
Oh yeah, thank you. I know go to the mother, you don't want to vote that did someone this
Yeah, so usually we will do the meditations at the beginning of the class. Then, however, I'll say since we need to finish certain number of pages within the timeline, in this class, so therefore I omitted it. Otherwise, then we might not be able to finish it within the timeline. So we'll start with divisions of ultimate truths. So ultimate truths are enumerated or divided in accordance with the division, with the entering the middle way auto commentary, which sets forth 16 emptinesses when emptiness is divided in detail or extensively, or in the intermediate division, the emptiness of thing, non-thing, sub-nature, and other nature. So there are 4. And 2, when summarized or in brief, the substance of person and phenomenon. So whether emptinesses is divided extensively into 16 or middling into 4 or 2. So basically, from the aspect of objects of negations, there is no difference. The only difference is the basis of emptiness. So when emptinesses are condensed or summarized, then they are grouped into two: the selflessness of persons and the selflessness of phenomena. So anything is an emptiness, then it is necessarily grouped in either of these two: selflessness of person or selflessness of phenomena. So this is according to the view of Prasangika Madhyamika. So, for example, the emptiness that negates the inherent existence, which is the object of negations on the basis of person, then that is the selflessness of person. And the emptiness that negates the inherent existence, which is the object of negation on the basis of aggregate, which is a phenomena, then that is the selflessness of phenomena. So the only difference is the basis of emptiness. In terms of the object of negations, there is no difference. And from Illuminations of the Middle Way, it says non-production accords with the ultimate and is therefore called an ultimate, but it is actually not, because in reality the ultimate is beyond all elaborations. So since it accords with the ultimate and is therefore called an ultimate, but it is not the actual ultimate. So there are two types of ultimate. Later we will cover these as well. One is the concordant ultimate, another one is the actual ultimate. So non-productions accords with the ultimate, therefore it's called an ultimate, but it is not, actually not. So it means that it is not an actual ultimate, because in reality, ultimate is beyond all elaboration. So elaborations of the appearance and elaborations of the ascertainment factors as well. So from Kamalashila Illuminations of the Middle Way, it says like this, and also from Shantarashita, Ornament for the Middle Way, is also saying the same thing. Similarly, distinguishing the two truths and distinguishing the two truths auto commentary and ornament, they also mention the same thing, and then the explanations follow. Yeah. So and Ornament explained that the negations of ultimate productions and the like is conventional. So regarding this line, the explanations will follow. The explanations will come.
너 관계자 요도 뭐시가 시작 봐. 무슨 거 같다. 봐. 봐.
So with respect to the meaning of those statements, many earlier scholars, so here talks about the assertions by those earlier masters. So they differentiate two ultimate truths, enumerated and unenumerated ones. So enumerated ultimate truths and unenumerated ultimate truths. So they assert that the emptiness that negates ultimate production and so forth with regard to form and the like is the former. So the former refers to the enumerated ultimate truths and imputed ultimate truths and fully qualified conventional truths. So this is the assertions by ultimate truths. Sorry, this is the assertions of ultimate truths by earliest masters, and that the latter refer to the unenumerated ones. So unenumerated ultimate truths. So it cannot be made the object of any mind whatsoever. So it is not an object of knowledge.
到底我们没当个做，那个到我的胸口的我们那我的我们记得对你的手的指的点的人看到知道，那对我的嘛，你我你胸的手的我们那我的那个对你多啊，我们记得手的点的写胸的手个嘛点的写的，看到点到的了，你写不的有可能点到写的是你写个嘛的是，那对点到我的嘛那个多啊，手点到写的多啊，我们那我的我们那我的学生我们对你我们记有啊，就点到嘛写的。点到的有可能往的西边点到的西边是点上去嘛的，那有劲了嘛讲的，你看有劲点到的，有点到你给往的西的嘛西屋的是，那对我嘛那个说啊。
So from here until here, then this is the assertions by early masters. So then the explanations of this, the illuminations of the middle way, ornament for the middle way, distinguishing the two truths, then starts from here, since.
但对我们看到嘛，你这个嘛，我没被日本点到时候，他就有些点到了旧屋，我没被日本是点到是挺多啊，我的有点到基本没有，有些点到了嘛旧屋。
Lua maybe.
哦，我没被日本那你点是挺多啊，但有些点到了嘛旧屋的，
可以
是吧？你这个旧屋掉了嘛那个的，那东西人多嘛。但我们那你个刚才对是他妈的我们那个的。
Lua maybe 只吧，对那
嗯，我罗没不是把点到一点说，我是有些点到，有点到几个嘛，有些点到些有的是。
Then here it talks about the explanations of the two ultimates in those scriptures. So it doesn't refer to object alone. So when we talk about the ultimates, then it doesn't refer to object alone. And then it says, since that is not the meaning of those texts, they should be explained like this. Object, reality, must indeed be taken as an ultimate, but the subject, a reasoning consciousness, is also often explained as such.
那对我嘛，这个练文的，对我嘛，学生嘛，打到是理性了，你嘞是练文的话，那我嘛，我学生嘛，打到是对我嘛，多他妈的，对我嘛，他妈的对吧？学生嘛，打到是吧？我到底了啊，理性的，他讲到公司嘛，这个我们听了，我们那我进书嘛，跟那个写过的，他理性是我对了讲到你写过的也是，他比两项木多的，都没进理性鸡蛋，这打了这里，那叫有些多经验。那等到点嘛，东西去，那多面去，先把鸡蛋，等到点嘛，我是多面去，这些，当我等到点嘛，多进去，这些，但是呢，这个人多进去，多把你那个的改善。
我哋等点把我送到多些嘅这些，
我多进去这些当，那多面去这些你，是吧？两项么多比，一些多面是你懂对吧？这些了，旁边两项的么多一些。多面的是你多变成条很多啊，多面大，那大了给你得可能你有些多进你大了给你多比大，简单讲就是多把它多面你那个也是，他的写他的，我们就简单的嘛。
等到这位就建议我哋几多些几多咩？
我多面，但有进来你那个也是我说，有进来你那个的话，那有进来你我去多面你些都是写我，那等我说简单的等到经济巴些，等到加上的。多么那个的，理解嘛？
So just now we talk about the actual ultimate and the concordant ultimate, right? So then the explanations is mentioned in here. And then of the two types of reasoning consciousness, the non-conceptual wisdom of an Arya's meditative equipoise is without conceptions, whereas the conceptual reasoning consciousness comprehending suchness is based on science and so forth. So here we talk about the ultimate is not only applied to object, it not only refers to object, it also refers to the subject also, right? So then here is talk about the two types of reasoning consciousness, the reasoning consciousness that comprehends the ultimate. So the two types of reasoning consciousness is, one is conceptual, another one is non-conceptual.
Ogen bawa tenda la mato ichi da tida jis ni ichi ni sheba kongores uma nawala tenda ni sheba res uma chi res ade ta wol ma ngato chiba sebo wol ma wa tenda ni sheba ichi la ma sheba ichi tenda khona la sheba ni shong tenda ni ise ichi tenda khona la sheba ni shong tenda mare ese da do ma tila wo so to so ma shia de yu tenda da ichi tenda ni to ma shewa ji ma do yu tenda khona sheba mare ni shong tenda mare ese
the explanations in Blaze of Reasoning that the ultimate includes both a non-conceptual wisdom and the concordant wisdom has the same intention as the explanations of two ultimates in Illuminations of the Middle Way. Therefore, the meaning of the text is not that the explanations of two ultimates should only be applied to ultimate objects and not subjects. So it not only applied to objects, they also apply to subjects. Yep. So, so we talk about two ultimates, right? So the two ultimates apply to objects and apply to subjects also. So then it's called the ultimate of the object, or you can say the objective ultimate. So there are two types of objective ultimates, and there are two types of subjective ultimates, or in other words, the ultimate of the subject. So the two ultimates of the subject refers to they are actual ultimate of the subject and the concordant ultimate of the subject. So in this regard, first is an actual ultimate, because when engaging in suchness, it is able to eliminate simultaneously the elaborations of true existence and dualistic appearance with respect to its object. So for example, the exalted wisdom, the Aya's exalted wisdom, the exalted wisdom of the meditative equipoise in the continuum of an Arya directly realizing emptiness, then that is an example for the actual ultimate of the subject. I repeat, the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise in an Arya's continuum, realizing or that realizes directly emptiness, then that is an example for the actual ultimate of the subject.
이제 된다는 거에 대해 너가 글쎄 가르래지나 근데 파비나샤시 동일의 지기 냠바시 냠샤시 되게 안다 아 동반 있는 수도 또 어디 나와게 니는 그 저바 건가 봐 가는 거래서 너무 그래서 그거 니는 동반이 니비 뭐라 저바 건가 봐 너도 그래 너희 뭐라 나무 저바 건가 봐 너도 그래 저바 탄질은 내스들이다 저바 탄질은 내서 동반이 또 봐라 나무다 니모니까 그 저바 강가 니가 봐把它搞吧，对吧？你如果只把汤进来说，对吧？只把汤进来说，那我不只把它，我不只把等于只把刚刚的吧，那我都能认识。人家多是呢，还是沟通方法实在的。你怕别人家东的自己呢，怕别人家是这个，你那送个路啊，你那送个路是在这把刚刚路上，你那送个了工作就那哇，有些他的给那哇，年度给那哇，我的刚刚路比头的。뭔가 출라 출샤바 나시 우리 스메이시 데 이제 된다 네스가 된다
니는 숨으로 야나 나와서
니는 수가 나 순간도 그랬어
니는 수로 군족에 나와 유유진 타대도 나와당 된 루로 마쪽에 나와
어디까지 나와
So the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise in an Arya's continuum realizing directly emptiness is an actual ultimate of subject because this wisdom, when it directly realizing emptiness, when it is directly realizing emptiness, the dualistic appearance has negated, or the dualistic appearances have already negated. So when we say that dualistic appearance have already negated, so means that in that meditative, within that exalted wisdom, the three types of dualistic appearance have already subsided. The three types of dualistic appearances, as mentioned before, the appearance of conventionality, the appearance of true existence, the appearance of object and subject as different or as separate. So these three types of dualistic appearance, then these three types of dualistic appearances have negated. So means that it beyonds all elaborations. So when all these three types of appearances have negated or refuted, then it beyonds all elaborations. So it beyonds all elaborations means that it beyonds the elaborations from the ascertainment as it beyonds the elaborations of ascertainment factor, and also it beyonds the elaborations for the of the ascertainment factor. So the elaborations, there are two types: as elaborations of ascertainment factor and elaborations of appearance factor. So it beyonds all of these elaborations. So therefore, it is an actual ultimate of the subject.
다 된디 동반이 비키는 냠바시데 파파야기 사미 들어 나셔 이시데 앞에 나고다 닝고니까라 돈이 내가 마시마도 나고다 닝고니까라 돈이 내가 마시마도 제 나와 지요 그래서 봐 이거 근데 비셔라서 강비나 딱 나와 지요 참가 잘했어 좋아 나고다 닝고니까라다 나고다 닝고니까라 돈이 내가 마시레스 돈이 내가 마시마도 근데 출이요 그래서 但是那以前在那年是他的想法的嘛，就以前在那年说的，只把谈起来那边，人家东林家一起去送上，以前在那年的也是，是吧？他看到只把谈起来，那边东林都比一些说的，东林是等的上面一些，那领导我就么的现在给啥样嘛？
即东乜嘢我算多被拍俾叫而飲下嘢
我那些些，我那天看到只把谈对吧？只把谈的厉害的，别的那还不结果。 나고 제바다 녜고 제바 니가래 해봐 해세 나고 다 녜고 니가라 돈이 메가 마시마도 현다 제나고 말해서 내가 너도 마신들이 와
So that exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise in an Arya's continuum realizing directly emptiness, when that from that perspective or for that exalted wisdom, so there are two. So one is just now I mentioned is the ascertainment factor, another one is appearance factor, right? In other words, is from the perspective of ascertainment and from the perspective of appearance. So it beyond all the elaborations of these two factors, the appearance factors and also ascertainment factors. So for these two, the ascertainment, for the perspective of ascertainment and for the perspective of appearance, there is only emptiness. So there is only emptiness, which is the non-affirming negatives and non-others. So non-others, but the non-affirming negatives, which is emptiness. So there is no conventional phenomena at all. The appearance of conventionality at all.
Oh yeah, that was the matter. Surely, you did and years of the you did and years wa. You did the gingy bars, that is the Chevroa. You did the Tanda Shungi. That woman, no one has my jeans, some of them, the Denis of my that Chevroa. Or that, you can that you did the gingy by the other. A catalogan of Tony Toby. Opa the lawyer, Tony Toby, Japa. Only the Shitty Toby, Japa. Only the English Toby, Japa.
Tony,
Tony the English Toby, Japate.
短期主義咯。
短期自己多比，
短期主義。
短期自己多比，他解放在了那个，他的以前跟他经济巴士，是吧？跟他们技术的吧，以前跟他们技术的巴士的，以前经济吧，当不得了的。
Yep. So a conceptual reasoning consciousness.
丢几把老人这个他，为呢？
是
国内为呢？我丢起东西都解放的老人这个他，不是国内的哇。
So the first one is the actual ultimate of the subject, and the second one is the concordant ultimate of the subject, right? So just now we mentioned that there are two ultimates of the subject. Then we have already covered the actual ultimates. Then the second one is the concordant ultimate of the subject. Then you can say that the inferential cognizer realizing emptiness in an ordinary being's continuum. An inferential cognizer realizing emptiness in an ordinary being's continuum, and is a concordant ultimate of the subject. Or in other words, then you can say that an inferential cognizer realizing emptiness in the manner of meaning generality. Yeah, I repeat the second one. An inferential cognizer realizing emptiness in the manner of meaning generality, or an inferential cognizer realizing emptiness in an ordinary being's continuum, then they are concordant ultimate of the subject.
但是说结果这些东西都被解放的，以前跟他经济吧也是，我的经济吧老个就是搞的是呢，我这把团结嘞没有嘛也是，这把看看嘞，是吧？这把看看嘞，你东西多的，这把看看嘞留个没有嘛也是，那我这把嘞。啊，这个嘛，那一这把你这个嘛的，那这把是吧？那一这把嘞，这把的搞这个嘛的，我啦，我个这把的就会是吧？我啦这把的，当你我啦这把的接了也是，你这把搞的也是吧？当你我啦这把的嘛，就那都不当你动作嘛是吧？当你我啦，这把接是吧？电子机器人把多是的了，电子机器人的搞了。
做不得，
我电子机器人的我接了。电子协议的，我了电子的协议的把搞不出来，东门都有的哇。但那我了，这把搞通有嘛的，那我了这把搞不有嘛。但那我了呗，这把工作比那话那个人，多你电视机多的可多把的哇，多把是那我了呗，多比那话累的有的，那话累的有的，那我这把是搞通有嘛的，也搞嘛图啊，是不是？今天吧是老个的，这把看看的，嘛的吧，我这把来讲。那我这把人嘛，对吧？是啥？以前东西都以前经历吧是，OK，那是点名是吧？经历吧的，我也是，以前跟他因为的，以前跟他解释听吧是，以前跟他解释听吧是老个这的，以前跟他解释听吧是老个这搞的是呢，你多的，是叫你多能结巴多把人吃的了，可多把吃的，多把吃的的，那我这把的搞土有嘛？那我这把的搞土有嘛？啊，我这把的搞土有的，我这把的嘛，个东把的东嘛哇，我的。也是的，以前让他们经济吧，还是老百姓的事。
And we say that an inferential cognizer realizing emptiness in an ordinary being's continuum is a concordant ultimate of subject, because it doesn't go beyond all elaborations. So when this inferential cognizer realizing emptiness, it does not, it is unable to refute all the elaborations. So even though this inferential cognizer realizing emptiness, then from the perspective of ascertainment, it ascertained emptiness. So from this perspective, it eliminates elaborations. So means that this inferential cognizer realizing emptiness or ascertain emptiness by ascertaining that by ascertaining the non-existence of the determining object of true grasping or apprehension of true existence. So, however, since this inferential cognizer is a conceptual thought or is a conceptual consciousness, so since it is a conceptual thought, there is an appearance of conventionality, and this inferential cognizer is unable to refute the elaborations of appearance. So even though there are two perspectives, right, or two factors, one is the appearance factor, another one is ascertainment factors. So even though the ascertainment factors from the perspective of ascertainment, so these two are different translations, same meaning. Then from the perspective of ascertainment, then there is no elaborations because this inferential cognizer ascertain emptiness by ascertaining the non-existence of determining object of the true grasping. So, however, for the perspective of appearance, from the perspective of appearance or the appearance factor, so this factor, then this inferential cognizer is unable to refute the elaborations of appearance. So because this inferential cognizer is a conceptual thought, then since it is a conceptual thought, then there is an appearance of conventionality.
다 이게 간단히 이게 간단 제 증거지. 혼이 유지들라 간단 집에 제시하고 있지. 봐. 예. 근데 이거 간단 데모스는 돈이 좋아. 이거 간단 데모스는 돈이 좋아. 다 간단데 간단세 이 돈이 또다 파빈ኛ샤이지 상메이시 되라. 간단하게 제자와다. 간단 돈이 또 오바 던지지 또 봐. 제바트솔라. 간단하게 자자와. 다 혼이 나ppe 이제 간단바 뇌다. 이제 된다 봐 진디 봐서 된다 돼야 이제 가서 그러니 오제비 요때 된다 돼봐 요때 된다 돼봐 예서 봐 된다 돼봐 순자 그러니 이 된다 돼봐 동기지 유지들라 된다 돼야 와 예서 된다게 야 샤와레 마도 와 이제 그러니 된다 돼봐 게 말어 이제 그러니 된다 돼봐 게 말어 나 그러니라 이제 나네다 이제 된다 제선 팀바스 로비에 이제 그러니 또사기 또야 요때 된다 돼봐 순자 이제 간단하다. 이제 내가 제선 팀바세 나게 나 진짜.
이 동만이 도지에 동만이 도지에
그러니 요때 된다된 말와.
유진데.
요때 유지 되니까 또야 요때 된다된 말와. 된다된 말 수가 때 그러니까 이제 간단하다. 이제 간단 제선 팀바세 간단해서 뭔가 가자.
가자라.
뭐다자.
So in general, so in general, when we talk about ultimate truths, then ultimate truth is emptiness, right? So in this context, when we talk about the actual ultimate of subject and concordant ultimate of subjects, then they are both given the name. They are both named ultimate, the actual ultimate and concordant ultimate, right? So the reason why they are named ultimate is because since these two subjects realize emptiness. So since these two subject realize emptiness, or the object of realizations is the ultimate truth. So therefore, the subject realizing emptiness are given the name ultimate. So I repeat. So the exalted wisdom in an Arya's continuum, and also realizing emptiness, and also an inferential cognizer realizing emptiness in ordinary beings continuums, and both are called ultimate, right? One is the actual ultimate, another one is the concordant ultimate. They are both named ultimate is because their object of realizations are the ultimate truth, which is the emptiness. And therefore, the subject that realizes emptiness are given the name ultimate, or are named ultimate.
我也当时的领导参加，一直谈到我的，一直在给这个领导参加。 有了台湾有的，有了啊，有点到爱堂，有点到就是平房是对你有，是吧？那对你就我了嘛，台湾那个，等到电脑上了，过了，哎，看看，如说老说嘛，人他们接受高比有，等到了先把人民多啊，这点，我妈妈多啊，或者的，这里不多说了，人他们接受高巴些，那就是么点多啊，我在这里面那个的是，他们说有了台湾你啥的是，有了有点到爱堂，有点到就是平房是你的。
So we have already covered the actual and concordant ultimate of subject. Then similar for object, then there are two ultimates as well. The actual ultimate of object and the concordant ultimate of object. So subject, then there are these two types. Object also they have the same, the actual and concordant ultimate.
有简单的，有些简单的，但是讲的我其实来他不说的，而且讲的有些简单的，有些简单就是什么，你写出来哇，你写出的简单是来他不说的，有来他不讲的是呢，有些简单的，有简单的你个弄了对的，你个弄了对的，有简单的，有简单就是听不下去，不然你个弄了对的，是吧？有简单的，有些简单，有些简单，不让你写出一节了。有点到我的，有点到解释情况是老的，有些点了对我了，对，有点到我的，点到解释情况是不是讲，这都我们写过啊，这来老说的。
So if you understand the actual and concordant ultimate of subject, then when we come to this actual and concordant ultimate of object, then it's easier to understand. So these two, the actual and concordant ultimate of object is posited from the perspective of the two types of subject that we mentioned just now.
那对我了，这个来我多，我说，基本的嘛，是说了，平常嘛，接受干嘛的，尤其平常也是你比较说的，尤其当你的利息多面情况呢，对吧？你叫他只有平常的也是多面情况了，老多啊，多面情况时候大家讲了，我们的都是发比两下一些，老人吧，那多年点了，我当不看，多年点了，我说啊，尤其多年点，那多年点，发比两下一些的，是吧？弄了，为那些的弄我跌了，干的你那个直把的，你我直把看到的这一，有点当我的，也是这一弄啊，点当我说的，我不晓得，我的弄了，为那些一些的，我那都给把那些一些了啊，但多年跌，把那些一些直接弄我了，那我一直把的，你我直把看到的，这一，点当我的也是，给我了，点当我的也是了，那对我了，是吧？怕比两下多你点，怕比两下一些的，我你两把钱两下一些，得给弄我了，得弄我了，那个这把给我别把它发完的是，是吧？别搞得得弄我了，简单我的事情，有简单我的也是的，得弄我了，有简单我的，有简单我的也是的。
有简单我，
我有简单的，有简单的说。
So the first one, the actual ultimate of object. So the emptiness. So the emptiness for the exalted wisdom of an Arya's, the emptiness for the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise in an Arya's continuum realizing emptiness. Then, there is no elaborations of appearance and there is no elaborations from the perspective of ascertainment. So that object, emptiness. So for this mind, then is the actual ultimate of object. So the emptiness for the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise in an Arya's continuum, directly realizing emptiness, is free from all elaborations. The elaborations from the from the appearance factor and elaborations of ascertainment factors. So that object, emptiness, for that mind, the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise in Arya continuum directly realizing emptiness is sole ultimate of object.
当然说对吧？懂你的，他比两下个醒我了，那个这把看了，人家把说的，一点单位的也是，是吧？这醒我了，这弄我了，老不了，也对，懂你， 또 바비냐샤 이시 대응올라 비리다 하든 줘야 맞다 대응올라 맞다 일바 건강에 좋아서다 대응올라 무대당을 해서 유대당을 로가 비슷하다
그거 동반이 돼요.
동반이 돼 나샤 되게 심어라 나샤 되게 심어라 간다
그거
건강을 대봐 소자 대응올라 대응올라 간다 유대당을 해서
동반이 돼 위도남 거예요.
유대당을 해서 로가 비슷해
So why do we say that the emptiness for the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise in an Arya's continuum directly realizing emptiness is an actual ultimate object? Because the emptiness for that perception refers to the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise. It is free of all elaborations. So since it is free of all elaborations of dualistic appearances, therefore, that emptiness for that mind or for that perception is the actual ultimate of object.
当我对的，有点的，就是什么，有点的解释对吧的，有点的解释对吧的，大家这个东西好的，是吧？东西的，东西都别叔叔教我带去工作学吧，东西都别叔叔教我第一期，结巴什么下人吧，东西都别叔叔教我第一期，结巴什么，我了，有点的解释对吧？也是，有点的经历吧，
对我了，
我对我了，有点的经历吧的也是。有对我了，有点的经历吧，老板的，那就是
同意的咯，同意的与跟他们就
当你冇看下几百几样当当你嘛，当你的当讲的当你特别是就结巴什么等于行吧，当你特别是就结巴什么对我了，那么是情绪都小我在就像小我当的，这个知道嘛的，你而且已经在那啥时候啊，已经在经历吧，已经在接是的，是就我第一句都。结巴对我了，那对我比当你的对我了，有点的有点的经济吧，也是，经济吧你的怎么就是我写不啊，经济吧也是，就是对吧？
So the second type is the concordant ultimate of object. So concordant ultimate of object, when similar to the subject one, then when we talk about the concordant ultimate of the subject, then we talk about the inferential cognizer in an ordinary being continuum realizing emptiness, right? So then when we talk about object, then the object is the same, is the emptiness. So the emptiness for an inferential cognizer in an ordinary being's continuum realizing emptiness. So for that perception, that emptiness is a concordant ultimate of object.
对，那等于当你的那有点的经济不罗啊，接受不罗啊，等于说交际当你都被结巴对我了，就是对我了，有点的经济吧的，经济吧因为军事搞的是呢，
当你的跟他们接触不罗啊，
有点的经济吧是介绍的了，
介绍的当你罗，
都写的当你的哇，当你他快吃不罗啊，那当你的有点的经济吧的是老个的，是我了，老个的是，当你都被结巴对我了。那是不是交际东都被结巴学了啊？是不是交际东你都被结巴对我有点东巴你学了啊？
有点东巴你谁有了？对东巴你对有点咱接触不的。
对我去，那东你都被结巴对你，对，东学了啊？你东你的，有点的经济吧的也是，那经济吧因为有些看的也是呢，东你都被结巴对我了，这把很个哩，零嘛也是，这把很个哩，东你你被连我了这把的。这个对呢，那我了这把的马上一定我这把对我那我这把的搞要嘛，也是搞对要嘛，也是那我这把了搞嘛多是的，但这把手机在看嘛的，不像多多，这把手机在找啊，的嘛的，这把更加找嘛，也是个，这把手机在找啊是呢，给你连我了个，我你那边这把就要说交际这把就啊，我你都不说交际这把的连我了别东把你，这把的谈的是老一把。他等于当你对起，也把的都被当你的 제바 대이 뭐라 유된다 진디바 레스 가르치니 레스나 다 대이 뭐라 제바 강가는 데마 제바 쇼지단 데바 레스 대이 뭐라 가르치니 대이 뭐라 네고라 제바레 이 여름마 나오라 제바도 돼요 말이에요 나오라 제바 여레스 뭐 어디래 나 이제 내가 진디바 뭐 진짜 뒤집어 지잖아.
Yeah. So we say that the emptiness for an inferential cognizer in an ordinary being's continuum realizing emptiness, well, for that perception, the emptiness is a concordant ultimate of object because for that perception, so that perception refers to the inferential cognizer in an ordinary being's continuum realizing emptiness. So it does not go beyond all elaboration. So it does not go beyond all elaborations, or that not all elaborations are refuted. So as it says here, on the other hand, so for a conceptual reasoning consciousness, so referring to the inferential cognizer, so on the other hand, then it is an actual ultimate. It is not an actual ultimate, always free from the two elaborations, because it is only free from one type of them. So it is only free from one type of elaborations. So just now we mentioned there are two factors, right? One is the ascertainment factors, another one is appearance factors. So even though for these perceptions, then the elaborations of ascertainment factors, it goes beyond the elaborations of ascertainment factors. However, the elaborations of appearance factors is not refuted or are not refuted. So for that perception, an inferential cognizer in an ordinary being's continuum realizing emptiness. So the object is a concordant ultimate of object because it does not go beyond all elaborations. So even though it only goes beyond the elaborations of the ascertainment factors or from the perspective of ascertainment, however, it does not go beyond the elaborations of appearance factor or from the perspective of appearance. So therefore, that object emptiness is for that perceptions is a concordant ultimate of object.
那已经点到位的，已经点到经济部的现在的，都有点到位的，有点到经济部的，连那个说的，你朗上过去了是吧？有等到我了，已经点到经济部的，已经点到位的现在呢，那有点到位的，有点到解释的部的，都连那个查噻。
Yeah, so if you understand the beginning part, which is the actual and concordant ultimate of subject, then when we talk about this the object, then it becomes easier for you to understand. Then it will be easier for you to understand. If you understand the subject part, then you can also understand the object. Yes.
这当的对呀对哈多些不的，我说东宁的上面经过了，上面东宁都被上面两下一起经过了，我当有点当我当是吧？这里东宁的东宁都被多把，你就是结把地我了，有点的解释听不懂来这他说话。东宁可能啊，东宁啊是吧？东宁可能了解释听不懂，我也是的，结把你晓得啊。그다 돈이 코나 된다 대박이었다. 내가 하고 버지고다. 돈이 코나 된다 대박은 해. 우리는 된다 대박은 해. 다 돈이 되라. 된다 제스 김바다 유 된다. 진기바다 유 된다. 우와서 야사다 가와 잡으려서 돈이 또 유진 로티 거라 잡고 와. 로티 거라. 와. 그 돈이 돼 유진 사매 대인 거라 다겠다 너도 봐. 유진 사매 대인 거라 뭐 레스 유진 이렇게 가는 해. 다 돈이 돼 또봐 돈이도 그 또봐 대인 거라 돈이 돼 이때 한다 제스님 봐 이런다 제스님 다 너도 지금 두 수련다 되보지 말아 제스님 봐 돈이 코나 단단한 거 그래서 내가 봤다 돈이 코나 단단한 거 그래서 된다 되면 뭐 그래서 돈이 코나 다 돈이 돼 이제 된다 제스님 이때 된다 이때 봐다 이때 된다 거에서 자사도 되니까 자고 그래서 이제 되니까 몰라.
So even though we say that there are two types of ultimates of objects, one is the ultimate, another one is the concordant type. So, however, then you shouldn't misunderstand that in general, emptiness is not an actual ultimate truth. So in general, emptiness is an actual ultimate truth. So, however, in this here we talks about the actual and concordant ultimate of objects because it is divided according to the perceptions. So, if it's related in relation to the exalted wisdom of meditative viewpoints, then it is an actual ultimate of object, the emptiness itself. And if it relates to the perceptions of an inferential cognizer of an ordinary being's continuum, then that emptiness is a concordant ultimate of object.
Oh, that didn't wear Mata. That children to the did wear Ninga. Only the Mando. The Dang is the Dang where the hell or the Dang where the is. It in a
Tenant among the Nam Shmuri,
the Dang is the Dang where the is. The Mongos in a you tend to know that you tend to jingy, but the Jassa knew your ass only. A Karaja, you cheating while I shall go. You cheat only to be just a meeting, only to be Oba, you cheat you jingy, but you any bars, you tend to jingy, but you tend to whereas it just a deal much what is what.
Yeah, so make sure that you do not mistaken that emptiness is not the actual ultimate. So in in general, emptiness is actual ultimate, is an actual ultimate, and it is an actual ultimate truth. So, however, here we talks about the actual and concordant in because it relates to the two different perceptions. One is the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise. Another one is an inferential cognizer of an ordinary being. So therefore, there is the object. The object then is divided into two: the actual and concordant.
What do you want, Maida? Some of the one market, didn't do to the Sinua, or the what? What do you want? How can the Jima do be ship from what about they do now need so bad. We see Jebaki, dance at it, Jabane, and keep it under the Mongo, yes, I did keep it under the Java, yes, and that the Mongo, yes, we need to get the yes, what?
So this being so, those who propound the establishments of illusions by a reasoning consciousness assert that these terms and previously when we talk about planets, so we also mentioned this term, the proponents of the establishments of illusion by reasoning. Then they assert that the composite of two appearances, basis such as an aggregate and its emptiness of true existence, being a mere object established by an inferential reasoning consciousness, is an ultimate. It is concordant with the ultimate, but it is not an actual ultimate truth.
What the name also be the Shia Gata Kuma, show Uma now, Uma Jis that deal with someone to share with what Hilda, my share the Uma Jeda, Uma Nawada. They need to talk with that machine without the Nag your machine. A dilemma, she changed the sugar that the Katua, the dig the love machine with what.
By now.
You want to shoot
Yeah. So just now we talk about just now these explanations then refers to the statement quoted from illuminations of the middle way, the ornament for the middle way, and also differentiating the two truths. So this is the explanations to the statement quoted from this text.
Not the one also temper to be damage the Tomagi with Demi the Tuyashi. The Khan Kandama shoots on another was that the Taj of Jinsi in that is Chong what's it going to do. Or the Kanda, another you would Dember your Maris, Dember to achieve that Tamakam, your Maris, and that did that in the other word. You would it.
Dember your Maris,
Dember your Maris, maybe you Dember to achieve that Tamakam, your Maris. 근데 maybe 진짜지 맞은 이거를 대마를 해봐 두고요 대마를 해봐
Any dictation in
뭐 내가 지게다 뭐 그래도
so and then regarding these lines then here is a bit difficult to understand because it talks about the reasoning in a debate. So basically in general when we talk about reasoning to to establish a reasoning in a debate or in a syllogism, then the usual way is and which is correct, the sprout is non-truly existent because it is free of, or it is because absence of being truly existent one, and is the absence of being, so because it is absence of being truly existent one, because it is also absence of being truly existent many. So this is the correct the structure, and then which uses the correct reasoning. So in general, sprout is non-truly existent because it is absent of being truly existent one and truly existent many.
누구도 대벌 요마도 준세 땡게 유시서 개버에 누구도 대벌 메데 대벌 주베치다 tama 가야 요 말에서 두서 개버 준세로와 이마 준세케는 나가 주시 나가 나가 간디샤나 지거로와 어디 참아 대벌 메도 알다 준세데 맞아 다시 뭔지 땡게 개버에 대벌 주베치 tama 가로 요 말에서 대 개버에 하여튼 아직 가서 가셔 그래서 막 이거와 가장에서 갈때 대벌 주베치다 tama 메바 니야 때 개침 뭐 차도 그러와.
Yeah, so then we say in general we say and it is common to say that also sprout is non-truly existent because it is absence of being truly existent one or many, one and many, and then you can also state other reasoning, which is the most common one is because it is dependent arising. So and regarding these we have already mentioned in the context of the four essential points, then especially the first point, identifying the object of negation.
어디 얼마 맞아 나라가 제바데 나라비라도 문이 우마비 된다 돼서 해바다 말에서와 나라비 어디 나라비 지셔도 제바서와 나라비라도 문이 우마비 된다 돼서 해바다 말인바 어디 맞지셔도.
Then here, with respect to the eliminations, here talks about the assertions of the ultimate by the thoroughly non-abiding Madhyamika, not as it is explained by earlier scholar.
다 간다 나와라 가샤가 제바 넘버 제바라 남지의 용지 니시네 다시마 용지의 제바 그게 대한자 대한 담버 대한 담버 대바야 엄마가 수직이 있다 캐리고 말해서 대한 담버 대바야 엄마가 수직이 캐리고 말해서 수직이 이게 말다 엄마가 쓰이나 시고 말해서 대다디 라우리 마제바 자 이제 시야에서 송도와 라우리 정도 좀 마제바 시고 시야에서.
So with respect to the eliminations of the object of negation, the conceptual elaborations or elaboration, different translations, same word, same Tibetan word. So the conceptual elaborations of true existence in relation to appearances, a distinction can be made between two aspects: a negative determination. Another translation for this is mere elimination, and a positive determination. Another translation for this word is thorough elimination. So, but there is not a single great Madhyamika who would assert that the second, what is merely cognized by inferential cognition, constitutes an ultimate truth of object, constitutes an ultimate truth. So the explanations of the presentations in my longest stages of the path should be understood in detail along this line.
어디 얼마 구바니다 구바 간다 얼마 지시오디 아까지 다시 보던 가서 되니기 그러면 로아 내가 담바接受 가봐도 군조 봐 지시제로와 아데 딩마 도다고 말해서 뭐로와 강의 시에서 돼 내가 담바 接受 가봐도 군조 봐 강 지시제로와 나도 뭐네 지기 군조 봐 내가 담바 接受 가봐도 군조 봐세 군조 말해서 내 말에 군조도 여봐 내가 군조도 여비 그냥 지시고요로와 군조도 여비 된다 시고는 군조 말에 그래서 시고요 말해서 오늘 되니까 치카도 되게 되고요. 내가 계속 가봐도 군조 봐서 그래서 시제로 강강되게 넣어서 어디 된다 마시고요. 어디 가다 군조도 여비 된다지 시고요 말도 군조 받게 말해서 되니까 진도와
another thing 게 랑데낭로自己가래 세계 거스거든.
군조 봐서 내가 봐接受 가봐 군조 봐서 레전드와 내가 봐 군조 봐 쉐도 어서 좋아
你吃过
你看是对吧？
真的吗？
你来是典型的说的，你让你来是多，
真的可以说吧？
点当把接受干部工作把写到是多，我这个点到的，或者点当把接受干部的工作的有比点给的辛苦要的是，是吧？工作的有比给的辛苦的，工作的啊工作点把的是给的辛苦要嘛的是，好吧？这对工作的写把的干的话，就是也是那么多。
So and then distinguishing the two truths, and also in the commentary and ornament, it says that the negations of ultimate productions and the like is conventional. So the meaning of this statement is explained in here.
这边跟他们谈多啊，人当把接受干把工作把写把的工作的有比点去，工作把点把没弄是的，他们谈多啊，你知道吗？我的对吧？
也考有嘞的工作。
我
他读，
我上去结巴的我他妈多啊，那他妈的，这个等于这个，我的他妈的，
我他妈的，
我他妈的对吧？我的，等到多的说，
So the and here explain the statement as I mentioned just now. So therefore, the explanation that the negations of ultimate production and so forth is conventional means that it exists conventionally rather than indicating that it is conventional.
那电脑了嘛，来问他身上问题，他知道，我嘛问题，他你写问到，他身上不是搞下了，缺大个别，搞公里的，让他把这个到公里用的这个了，公里点不这个，这个了，身上吧，哇，希望有这里点不这个是让自己，这个这了我哇，
希望的，
希望有让自己这个了我哇，
希望能用
那个哦，那个。
应该的点不住，
点不住，让自己这个，让自己这个，
让你参与住，
让自己这个了我哇。Tadi kanta uma bagi uma tanjo sugi a gasha chida maybe chida maybe kabi kabaya yang taba tu mares yang taba tu ma ti ke mares yoro uma bagi senda bagi de nang ma da xin wa.
So he is saying that others, Chitamatrin, assert that the emptiness negating a self of phenomena in the basis of negation is established in reality. So this is the assertions by Chitamatrin, whereas his own system teaches that since the object of negation, the self of phenomena does not exist. Self does not exist. The negation that negates it is not established in reality. So for Chitamatrin, other power and thoroughly established or established by way of his own character. However, this is not asserted by Prasangika Madhyamika.
那就我是主办的，那基本上从我们那完了，你电动没写了那完送吧，万一搞了公的，电动两趟嘛，门口还是知道啊，对不对？有句话是，但对了嘛，还是就对了嘛，写是吧
？Then here talks about it is said that when blue appears, its emptiness of true existence appear to an eye consciousness. Since this refers to an affirming negative, it is not contradictory that its emptiness of true existence is an ultimate truth.
那这个等到让他们接受搞吧，那完了嘛，那意思这发生我们连的对吧？连的嘛留的我了，我不打吧，那完了我都那完写吧，他看到光了就我不那我的这个都那我也是写吧的吧，写吧的，电把要把搞的弄结账，写到了那完。
可能你刚来的还是写吧的。
对，我那完了，也都那完写吧，电把这个都那完写吧，你写吧的，电把要把搞的弄结账没写说了，那完话的，没写了你弄图嘛是吧？没去写吧的，我不那我的电把这个东西是弄图嘛是吧？你弄图嘛是吧？你弄图嘛？但我不弄了，电动弄完写吧的，电把要把搞的弄结账没写说了，那完嘛的也是，这嘛的是弄完的弄结账。写了那图嘛了，写了我那的我电把这个东西弄图了嘛是吧？弄个嘛是吧？我留着，我弄完了，电都弄完写吧呢，我电把要把搞的弄结账没写说了，那完嘛的也是，那这搞的公司呢，你写吧的，没一个了公吧也是，没一个了公吧。是吧？啊，我不弄的，我不满意把老板去，我满意把老板去弄我，咋看的？
满意把了，过没了？
满意 Mingala Gumbas, Mingala Gumbas,
Maingala.
Gumbas.
What did he know?
That's what is a Maragot. That kind of deal. Who's it? That kind of did not marry.
Another day, Kadati, when no in a dimension like the non to Maris.
Did not go Marwa. Did not ship of Maris. That can't see the new race.
She hung to Maro.
Not to Maris. Not to Maris. That kind of the Kunzo Tinia, the Embassy of the Tomba Tenda de Bagimangose, that the new woman nowadays, and the Kunzo Baginja, the Embassy of the Tomba de Tenda de Ba, my Tenda de Barantadi, yes, the Tenda de Marias Tombat. You would never to go. Tumba Shura, or did Tenda de Marias, that was large and then shut somebody.
Yeah. So so the explanation is that whenever something like blue appears, its emptiness of true existence also appear to an eye consciousness. Then it does not imply that a mere elimination, the negations of true existence, appears to the eye consciousness and so forth. So the negations of true existence, the negations of true existence cannot appear to is unable to appear to the eye consciousness, right? So rather, what is implied here is an affirming negation. Therefore, something like that is a fully qualified conventionality. Yet this does not contradict that an emptiness, the mere eliminations of true existence, is an ultimate truth. So the emptiness, which is the mere eliminations of true existence on the basis of blue, is still an ultimate truth. It doesn't contradict that.
That the one much Jiba. That Jiba, that Jiba the Kanji, only sugar to do Sari. Tanda Roa, Jiba the Kanda de Tendang the Jinjibas or did Tenda dinner.
Eugene Tendang.
Jinjibani, that one no Jiba the Jama does it. That you can't Jishi Chesa, that the Mrs. Sugar came on the Jiba the Jama, I think is a shield. Roa, Jib and that Jinjiba, it did that. Shivua, or what did it? That technically you get that you get that Jindiba, you tell that Jindiba Shivua. That thing turned out she did on it. You know, she did on this, the trip of the Tama, the deep is a China. That thing that she should say, that what you said, much you said.
That's all. So then here talks about the way of proceeding the two reasoning consciousness, non-conceptual and conceptual, as well as their objects, as actual ultimate and concordant ultimate. So then this we have already mentioned in the when we talk about the actual and concordant ultimate of object and subject. So then we have already covered it. So basically, and in this context, then it talks about whether it is free from elaborations or not, which is also covered.
我们觉得你让你的这些养家修不多，这些天的看到，对吧？这些公司在这个上人说，这个上已经的有天的，你就把有天的我，有天的今天有天的有天的解释的吧，所以等那这不是这个嘛，然后的一堆学生的对吧？然后学生用吧，那对了是吧？那对我们送吧，这就是我们更长一点。
Yeah. So even the ornament for the middle way and distinguishing the two truths auto commentary are quoted here to explain the actual and concordant ultimate of object and subject, which we have already talked about. So then I'll go straight to next outline.
That's somebody can the Dini Changi, Dini Dembani Changi. That Dembani Changi the Kanda, that simple lower than Maloa, that the kitchen that they do dinner ship. Dini Changi Sumba, Dini Changi Dembala, Solodoa. And that didn't know the Karisha was not. That Dembani the Kanda, no at the Malaysia Hari. Oh, Zimba, Zimba Loa de, Punzo Demba, Maloa de, and that Demba. That now on she, and I never Maloa said, what? That Demba, we did it, and when it's about the Lawan she, Yana Demba Maloa.
Tenila Lua, Milo, and you, and the Lua de Kunzo Demba, and Milo de Debari. The no one as him, de Kunzo Demba.
Then by now, she turned up many of us, the Peruas. You know, no she turned up many of us,
Kunzo Baro,
Kunzoba.
Kunzoba,
no one she, a debas that, yes. That and that Dembade, I can't that long as so like no one she tell her English. In yours, the lower, yes. None in timber, and that Dembada, no one that needs in timber is. Kunto Dembada, no one that needs in timber, so that, yes. 어디 도도 들이.
Nang ni tumor.
나는 팀바. 나는 팀바. 나는 팀바. 도도 들이.
So yeah, so teaching that the number of truths is definitely two. If a given base is determined to be a false deceptive object, then its being a non-deceptive object is necessarily eliminated. Therefore, deceptive and non-deceptive are mutually exclusive. So basically, here talked about the two truths is definite in number, which is two. Then the two truths can be divided. Two truths, one is deceptive, another one is non-deceptive. So the deceptive one is the conventional truth. So conventional truth is deceptive because conventional does not abide as it appears. A conventional does not abide as it appears, therefore it is deceptive. So deceptive also means that the appearance and abiding are non-concordant, are not concordant. And non-deceptive, then the non-deceptive refers to ultimate truth. So ultimate truth is non-deceptive because it abides as it appears to direct perceivers, to those direct perceivers. So in this case, it is non-deceptive because appearance and abiding are concordant.
나들이 말 너무도 빈스빵 미치기 자신은 빈스빵 같이 와서 빈스빵 미치 자기서 와서 니가 간다 빈스빵 심을 뒤바내봐 근도 대바라 된다 되면 하나니 심을 뒤바내비 빈스빵가 코라니 많이 봐 이게 신다치 주지 요래서는 다들 공부 좀 받을 요 말해서 다 간다
심이 뒤만 내봐
심을 뒤바내봐 그러니 빈스빵 미치 심을 뒤바내봐 뭐 된지 지레 마더와 근도 대바 인게 된다 대바 인게 된지 요 말와 지요 말와 된지 근도 대바 인게 된다 대바 인게 지요 말와
숨바디요 말와
된지 요 근도 대바 많이 근도 된다 대바야 많이 된지 지요 바이나 또 숨바지요 잠깐 그거 숨바지
니 이냐나 니 마이나 대 숨바들리요
숨바들리고 숨바 그거 숨바 도어스네 에디레 숨바 도어서 거기 빈스빵까지 주지 자신을 주고 있는 빈스빵가스나 그러니 시진 뭐니 봐 좋아 시진도 뭐니 봐 인지 시지도 빈스빵을 때는 다 시지도 많이 받지. 좋아. 뭐 되지리에서 나 코란이 가야 많이 받지 여바이나 아픈 것을 받지 여러. 이 여바에서 봐. 내 대면 왔습니다. 내 시자라 빨리 요서도 봐 대바니가 장이 그래. 시자 추 반드시 여바이나 너 대바니냐? 내가 대바니 그래. 내 마인게 찌 여마에서 간다. 내 시자라 대바니 장이 그래서 너도 이제라 드니스 장이 봐 시바 샤워스 도와. 어디? 나 요신제라. 시자라 요신제라. 덴바니 강루 진유 그래마도 뭐 숨바지 여 말에 너 어디서 돼 숨바지 되시고
이 마인데요.
디니 강루 지 마이게 여 말에서 그래.
Yeah, so yeah. So therefore, deceptive and non-deceptive are mutually exclusive. Their presence is contradictory. So since they pervade all objects of knowledge in a mutually exclusive manner, they exclude the possibility of a third category. So means that this conventional truth and ultimate truths, they exist as mutually exclusive. So they do not abide on a common basis. So whether anything is a object of knowledge, then it pervades all object of knowledge, right? So means that if it is an object of knowledge, then it must be a conventional, or it must be a conventional truth, or it must be a ultimate truth. So there is no third possibility such as not being of these two. So anything exists, then it must exist as either one of these. Then it cannot exist as a third possibility or third category. So there is no such thing as third category or third possibility that anything which is an object of knowledge yet is not none of these two.
아주 얼마 이 야신자의 노스마 양자 대 내가 덴번을 창에서 시시를 한 거야. 이제 야신자의 노다 띵인지 노스 민도하게 근데 막 한다 덴바 손바 가야 요 말에서 돼 너도 원 덴바 손 가야 만지스 노아 내니도 장에서 송사에서 시시 타네 근데 취 안가라 덴바니도 장에 그래 이제라 덴바니도 장에 그래서 야신자의 노다 그러니까 되니 띵인지 저기도 이게 니가 간다 뒤 시시를 내가 간다 좋아 야신자의 노릇 대하러는다 이 집이 군도다 대한답이 덴바니 투수 치대 Sheba Kunda de Demba Dini Setos, any Lamato Yomaris, any Mato Yomaris Chijala. The whole thing is Jabendole, the Harasojado, Demba Son Kaya, Chiba Yomaris, Demba Sumba, I am Chisos, Lanoa, in the Jabendole. See, Dodo Har, Chijamari.
So here we talk about the number of truths is definitely two. Then the meeting of Father and Son Sutra and also the concentration definitely showing suchness are quoted to support this point. Are quoted as sources to support this point. So the meeting of Father and Son Sutra says that object of knowledge of the truth or the two truths are exhaustive. It says in this manner the Tathagata realizes the two truths, conventional and ultimate, and object of knowledge are exhausted in conventional and ultimate truths. And the concentration definitely showing suchness also clearly enumerates the truths as definitely two. Everything is a convention or an ultimate, but the truth does not exist.
That the world in the Gaza. That's about Denila Kepacha, yes, Dembanila. That Dembanila, Motion Abu Chapure, and that did it in the Chapel, you say, Tiba, or did it, that do my share.
So then start from here, then it talks about the logical proof that it is necessary to be skilled in the two truths. So another way of saying this is one must study well and one must understand well the two truths.
Oh, dear. That under Demban Nine, she grace, in nine she grace. The Dini nine she by the Jaika, Moma Santi, Zola, Mamoba, and that's shingly, yes, what? Since you have she grace. Then Machina, Dini nine, the Machibaina, Jaika wants to work on the Moma. And that Obiluji only she don't chiba charo grace. Roa, Gobuluji should that lower. Gomuluji lonely, she don't chiba. Gomuluji, Masuna Tapa together. 천지신바 토약이 람도 지제도 소파 소파 로스 차사레스 와 소파 로스 주로 들어사레스 다 오만 주고 지금 마서 외로와 외로와 대단하지마.
You said that if you know the division between the two truths, then you will not be confused about the words of the sage. Then, if you understand two truths, then you will be able to understand Buddha's teaching. Whereas if you do not know it, then you will not know the essence of his teaching. Then, in the entering the middle way, it says that the methods for pacification do not exist for those outside Lord Nagarjuna's path. So, if you do not understand the two truths, and then they do not understand those guidance given by Nagarjuna that leads to liberations and leads to omniscience.
我大讲的我们这个兄弟把修罗的级别，让来修罗的决策给这个别讲的，那两的特别他的要马的是，我这个别两的主要他是要马的是的，两的特别他要马的，他没有就这讲的，工作的点到点嘛的，那也造成的新个要马的是，工作点嘛他要马的是，两的头发了。工作的点到点嘛，等你那一点到的新闻也是，你那一点到的马些吧，但两的头这块要马的是，我们陆地修罗，然后决策的是修罗，然后修罗决策的是。 이렇게잖아. 내 양대 토토고 말이스. 양대 토토고 말이. 그래가지고 고바 토토고 말이스. 단위도 단위 덴바또 봐. 단위 덴바또 봐. 타서 집어서 가서 그것도 오만 집어 부디만 당을 되더래. 단위 덴바또 봐. 타서 집어. 근데 덴바또 봐도 타서 집어. 타서 집어. 되니 나이도 맛있잖아. 이리 나이 관계 맥이 들어가. 나이는 저번에 끝난도 로빈이 뭐한테 더 살이스. 얘도 자디 간다.
So then they have strayed from the truths of conventions and suchness, and through their corruption, they cannot attain liberation. Conventional truths become the methods, and ultimate truths arise from those methods. Those who do not know the distinctions between the two or the divisions between the two truths enter bad paths because of flawed or wrong conceptualization. So if one do not understand well the divisions of the two truths, then one is unable to attain a nirvana. So then one has strayed from the path that leads to liberations and that leads to arahantship and etc. So next is the divisions of special insight.
nga shi ba hando go so tem ba le da mi ni tawa ni ma da hando go ma sha wa so a dang bo hando go so so ni shi re se a ji da hando go so so bo de ni go de shi sa wa go de shi sa re yang ja ma ji shu na do chi ma chi yi wa.
Okay. So the divisions of special insight, then the first one is you should cultivate divisions of special insight, and then here it talks about the prerequisites for special insight. Then you should cultivate special insight once you have gained the view that realizes the two types of selflessness after attending to the prerequisites of special insight as explained above. So regarding the prerequisites of special insight, we have already talked about it before.
다 간다 한국의 초송도 들어와 그래서 기부 당발을 때 봐서 간다가 비리가 때 봐서 되게 된다 좋아 당기 이 신이 기부 당발이가 때 원해서 기부 기긴지가 때 원해서 이게지가 때 봐. 네 마음도 펴봐. 그때 봐마세 예 기부 당발이 다 취 마음도 펴봐시. 마음도 펴고 자와시. 니바도 때 보고 해서 다 손바데 지기의 생바와 다 당부 때 땜바데라 되는 취 pepa tila tila tupe tila sigi de song tawa semas yesu al hando go so yesu sang hone chi tanga da kaza dame ko tawa sini te ko ese ko ro ila to ko se lo ro yesu na kanda hando so so de ro so ro.
So regarding the prerequisites of special insight, we have mentioned, then they in summary, there are three prerequisites of special insight. The first one is relying on an excellent being, or a teacher. So relying on a teacher. Then the second one, relying on an excellent being or a teacher. First point. And the second prerequisite is extensively listen. So you rely on the excellent being, and then you listen or receive the teachings from the excellent being. And then the third one is after listening extensively, then you contemplate or you reflect the meaning accordingly. So these are the three prerequisites. The first one is relying on an excellent being. The second one is extensive listening, and then the third one is correct, proper contemplation or proper reflections. Then together with these three prerequisites, then one must cultivate special insight.
다 간다 뒤에서 땡길 한도 거 소스를 나서 까말 고리 바발에 쏘다 까말 키라고 고리 바발에 저 한도 소스를 쏘는 레스다도 제일 무지 막 너무 당자고 고리 바발에 쏘면 좋아 이디로 지금 대하러 여러 어디로 살 간다 소스 뭐지 다 하고 살 한도 소스 이네 봐 그거를 내가 맞대봐 다 한도 된다 또 도움이 말해 다 좋아 소스 뭐 될라 되니 다 당부 얘기들라 간다 쳐봐야 뭐지 당보들 땡와 뭐들로와 여기 당보들 이지라 땡 얘기들라 땡 얘기들라 땡 간다 쳐 마도 돼 나도 그래서 마도 돼 저기 된다라 스스로 리바가 따지 쳐 간다 저기 된다라 스스로 리바가 따지 마보지 따지 마보지는 저기 된다라 상원 번지네 야네 그라 상원반 간다 저기 상바들라 딱 간다 그래서 공지하래 저기 된다라 상원반 와 근데 예수가 ጤ니 하나 수수 뭐 내가 ጤ니 도마 안다 다음에 취 다음에 타왔어 그래서 아무 대수가 맞대봐 가자기 다음에 또 타와다 취 다음에 또 타왔어 그래야 그러야 말 좋아 예수가 맞대봐지라 또 대수 뭐지라 맞대봐 또 가자기 다음에 또 타와다 취 다음에 또 타왔어 그 그래야 그러야 말이지 예수가 ጤ니 때 가자기 다음에 취 다음에 또 타왔어 아무도 그거 왜 했었나.
So regarding these prerequisites of special insight, and this is quoted by Jeremiah in Lam Rim from Kamalachila second stages of meditation. So Jeremiah quoted Kamalachila second stages of meditation. That mentioned the three prerequisites of special insight in Lam Rim. So then these three prerequisites, the first one is relying on an excellent being. Then the second one is extensive listening to the teachings about special insight. Then the third one is after listening extensively, then you analyze the meaning with reasoning, and then you contemplate and you reflect on it. So with the complete three prerequisites, then you seek the view of selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena. So searching, after searching, then you cultivate the special insight. So if you do not rely on these three prerequisites, or if the three prerequisites are not complete, then one is unable to seek the view of selflessness, and consequently one is unable to cultivate special insight.
어디야? 다들 오늘 맞을래 니바들 레고도와 아니바들 한도 한도 한도게 소송고라 때니 다가게 가면서 지 담에도 따왔자니 한도도 보고 그래. 근데 한도도 고양 이거가 단비 시베레에서 되나라 근데 고양 한도들라 간다 고양 한도데 간다 싹 두둑가 한도나 또 스텝부까지 고양을 되게 또 이거 말했어. 나도 수도 띄워 비시 야배 토마야 뭐 자니 디기야 야 로켓이다 되게 고양이 한도도 이제 시고 여러 마도 아주 싹 템포라 공개다 이제 시고 말했어 그거 또봐 통보야 내 찬이니 깔아 시고 말했어 그 수도 띄우니까서 야 바퀴도 들어야 뭔가 대시고 그래서 뭐다.
So then here it says that you should cultivate special insight once you have gained the view of two types of selflessness. Then after that, then how many types of special insights are there? So here it talks about which of there are different types of special insights. So which types of special insights is mentioned here? Then here I will mainly teach the special insight you should cultivate while still an ordinary being, and not the special insights of exalted levels. So not the special insights of exalted levels means that not the special insights of those who have already achieved higher levels. So here it talks about the special insight to be cultivated when you're still an ordinary being who is newly training your mind in this.
다들 오늘 말씀받은 대의들 말레오니 이와 같은 대시에도 좋아. 다들 와서 소지까지 다 한도 시에 그 시고 다 간다. 어서서 소지까지 대의 한도 공스다 한도 용서도 봐. 한도 용서도 봐. 반드시 시고 예 다들 말 비가 들라 시고 와. 맞아 사 템포까지 시에 한도 되게 시고 말에 소지까지 한도 시고 예서 그러와. 아 소지까지 그냥 다 한도 반드시 시고 예서 다들 말 그제 시고. 다들 시고지. 아 소지까지 한도 이용서도 봐 제가 제일 제바시바 넘버시 제일 넘버 제바시 넘버시다 그 넘버 송
我你시당 넘버시를
我你시와 아我시다 내 넘버시다 그 넘버 송
我你시당 넘버시的지로
我的지바지我你시我你시바지当간다 그러와 넘버시 로그래 소시 로그래我你시다 그송 넘버 2 왔다 좋아 넘버 2를 그러와 좋아 넘버 2부 토네마 덴지 송고 토네마 다스도 지오기 그거 뭐야 마시기 수거 수지오 쓰고
덴지
송로와 덴지 송로와 덴지 워 넘버 시다 고 송다 좋아 넘버 2 다 좋아 넘버 2기 토네마 덴지 송고 토네마 수지오 뭐 하고 막 제단 시기에서는 이제 필요와.
So one rely on the prerequisite of special insight, then one seek the view of two types of selflessness, then one cultivates the special insight. So here it talks about the special insight to be cultivated when one is still an ordinary being who is newly training their mind in this. So then, so then if you carry out a complete division of these special insights, then they are special insights of the four natures or four aspects, the three doors, and the 6 modes of inquiry or 6 searches. So when we talk about the special insight to be cultivated for an ordinary being, then the complete divisions of this special insight is in these three parts. The special insight that contains 3 parts. The special insight of the 4 natures of 4 parts. 4 natures of 4 aspects, the 3 doors, and the 6 modes of inquiry or 6 searches.
시고 시시고도 배소로와 인기스는 배제 당보도 말와 당보들은 가서 신은 군대에서 넘바 제부서 시고서 가서 시고도 군대를 맞서 들어와 간다 군대도 숨바에서 그러와 돌마 교디 신에로와 군대에 내가 넘바 Tela number jepa, rather number jepa, yons toba, yons jepa, that do Katuba Shanti, number jepa, rather number jepa, yons toba, yons jepa, they should recommend. No, Hundred Tishi Masherwa, that Tishi Tony, the Incitable, more she said, when she says Noah, or did the man Jemashua, Amushi Banjirwa, she the Casca, number jeba, rather number jeba, yons toba, yons jebas, Tishi.
So the special insight that contains three parts. The first one is four natures. Then the first one, the four, so the four that refer to the four natures of four aspects are differentiations and so forth mentioned in the Unraveling the Intent Sutra. So the four refers to differentiation. First one. The second one is thorough differentiation. The third one is full investigation. And the fourth one is full analysis.
Tambo the Kanda, number jepas in Dua, number jepan the Chenya Balamipa was in Dua, number jibil handos, number jibil handorwa, number jibil handos, number jibil hando tige, Kanda, she can't tell a bed, the Jebachine, can't tell a bed, was not. Geneva Kunto Michela, yes, number jibil hando tige, number jibil hando Geneva Kunto Michela. Geneva Kunto Michela, meaning, Kanda, some of ours, Geneva Kunto Michela, meaning the number Jeba. Geneva Jibil, number Jibil Hando was like, number Jibil Hando Digi, that Geneva Kunto Michela, meaning Jemachin, yes,
Kunto Vichula meaning number Jebaro.
One number Jeba, yes, number Jibil Hando was number Jebas, number Jibil Hando was number Jibil Hando did, that Geneva Kunto Michela, meaning, Kanda, Angela, some young Jebachin, some bad, yes, no.
That's all. So, this Shiga did someone that had on That's all. So the first one is differentiation. So it's called differentiation, and it's also called special insight of differentiation. So special insight of differentiations or differentiation. So these differentiations. So what does it observe? What phenomena does it observe? Then this differentiation observe the conventional. So here it says observe things in their varieties, right? So in other words, it observes a conventional phenomena.
number Jebas Dua, number Jibil Hondo, number Jibil Hondo, the Karla Miguresna, Kangala Miguries, and the Kenda de Malamini, and the Demalami, that's what you yes, or that didn't Dua, that number Jebas, that number Jibil Hondo.
And the second type is thorough differentiation. So thorough differentiation observe their ultimate modes of being. So thorough differentiation is also called a special insight of thorough differentiation. So it thoroughly differentiates the ultimate or the ultimate truth.
Oh, that is Nishutarwa. That number Japan, that number Jabas Nishutarwa. That Nishutar, that Shula Nigata is Lelabo. Tambo, Chiliba, Kundabala, number Tambo Shua, Ineba Kundabala, number Jabatela. You won't stop at a Jimmy, Chiliba, Tambo Shua, number Jibel Hunter, number Jibel Hunter, Chiliba Kundabichula Mine, number Jigishua. Tela, Shela, you won't stop at a Jimmy, Tela, you won't stop at Jimmy.
So differentiation observe things in their variety. Then these differentiations has two types. So as it says in on the text, it says the first has two types. So the first refers to differentiation. So it has two types. The first one is full investigation, and the second one is full analysis. And the second also, so the second refers to thorough differentiation, observe their ultimate modes of being. So the second also has two types, full investigation and full analysis.
하모 시자마 제바 징가들라 무스 제바시 하모 나 차라니 게 제바 제단 지가 로
유타라.
차라니 게 뭐야 와 기다 또 봤어야 봐라 제바 지가 제바시야 하모 이게 어디니 제바 또 봐라 봤어야
That's all. So the first one, differentiation, and the second one, thorough differentiation. So each of them has two types: full investigations and full analysis. So full investigation means that it is an differentiations of cause object. Is an investigations too much. Yeah, is an investigations of cause object. And full analysis means that it is an analysis of subtle objects. So the difference is one is coarse, another one is subtle. Investigation is the coarse object, and the analysis is the subtle objects.
我的对你刚才杭州跟他的我的刚才你说的信息面上的送把的也是那这个把的多了不多了哇这个送把的是不多
Yes, and the identification of those four is set forth in Tsongkhapa levels and instructions on the perfection of wisdom and other scriptures.
啊，这个俺做的结果其实跟写的说的俺做，我能俺说今年告诉你呐，不是有啊，一般当就那个，那么就那个 KP 米把这个西瓜，今年个米把毛不新有啊，那结果其实做的看他，
양양게 시대 가리오变那차잖아
KP 米把结果当就那么就把这俺说，今年个都现在一般米把
，KP 米把当对，那这个
KP 米把的，我能把就把。
요몽 남종이
제번 남조 말에 어떤 시어 더 심어 그
요몽 남종이 미바다 저러 가서
이바 정사도 가 소리 잔다 와
미바 정사 줘봐 치사
줘봐 치사 미바 들어가
So regarding the objects of observation for special insight, we have already covered in we have already covered in previous chapter when it talks about the objects of observations for special insight. Then there are examples such as the objects of observation for the skillful one, or for the skillful one or for the wise one, and then there are objects of observations that thoroughly purifies afflictions and so forth. Then you can refer to that chapter for this information.
어떤다 고 렌체 수노 다 렌체 담보 거 서와 담보 담보 시들어 서로 무엇이래 지고 아울로 고 수들와 나란도 유게 고 소시야 고 소로 마시와 이스로
So we have read up to here. Then it talks up to here. Then we have already covered the four aspects or four natures, which is the first part of a special insight. Then next we are going to talk about the three doors. Start from here.
나도 얼마 고소도 간다 예시고다 군래래 세만에 쇼하다 요소 좋아래 쇼 소또 벌 쇼 송소 대가로 좋아 어디에서 마시고도
So the three doors, as mentioned in the Unraveling the Intent Sutras, the three doors are arisen from a sign, arisen from a thorough searching, and arisen from fine investigative analysis. Fine investigative analysis, another translation for this is individual analysis.
나도 아무리 그래도 아무리 담에 녜슬라 미네 대인 체마기라 시시 나 때나 배봐 왕도 뭐지 봐 아무리 들어와 체마를 중앙 들어와 뭐 체마를 중앙에 담에 녜슬라 텔레비네 체마 동당 이나 시시 이 때나 배봐 왕도 뭐지 해 때나 배봐 왕도 뭐지 봐 하지 들어와.
So the first one is the door arisen from a sign. Then the first, observe the selflessness. The first referred to the door arisen from a sign. So the first, observe the selflessness already ascertained and attained to its signs, but does not determine very much. Then the second referred to the door arisen from a thorough searching that makes determinations for the sake of ascertaining that which has not been ascertained previously.
다 somebody is in Japan, and I get the cheaper chips. There were somebody did a kind of so totally was there were. Oh, nah, means if you tell I get the cheaper chips.
And the third is a reason from a fine investigative analysis, then carries out an analysis as was done before of the meaning already ascertained.
That is not so go so the danger such a there were. You go soon and you go soon to I'm not to share what I'm doing that. So who you are, that's what means.
So this is about the 3 doors. Then the third part is the 6 searches or 6 modes of inquiry.
That's what to the answer there. And Nubota, Chinida, Boda, Ida, Ripa, not so. At the latter one, and so, Nubozo, Chinito, Choto, Ito, Ripazo, Sindua. Oh, a dear to the you were much in the
So what are the 6 modes of inquiry? Then it is a thorough search into the meanings, things, characteristics, categories, times, and principles. So principles, another translation for this is reasoning. So these are the 6 modes of inquiry. So the thorough search into meaning, things, character, categories, times, and principles. Another translation for this is reasoning.
这个你们家这个，把叔叔写吧，是吧？然后呢，他亲的个，你那是，就亲的个咯，亲的个，然后说呢，他亲的个，看你这人，也说的，那现在就是说，我的切巴的，亲的个，那搞些不懂，那得等到什么，说的哇，那说什么的嘛，基本写的，看到，是吧？基本写的说，等到搞的就基本写的，是吧？
So to explain individually, the first one is a thorough search into the meaning. So it is the search, the meaning of this word is this. So the inquiry into meanings is the search, the meaning of this word is this. So basically, you understand what is the meaning of those words. So such as the meaning of words of nature, such as the words nature, quality, and etc.
那我这里多，我不错是这些咯，我不错是，你这男朋友不，你心里不是呢，那是那我不是错了，你心里不，你是吧？让给钱是吧？你让给钱，你心钱，嘛这我不错，你男朋友，你心里不是，那是那我不，那心里不，男朋友不是，男朋友不是，让你继续对吧？是下，让给继续对通过，让给继续自己通，所以不，这你继续通过有啊，我只是来出家呢。 是什么？他就把这个，这，那新的不是让西北继续嘛，对吧？新的做了是吧？做了吧？第一次做了是吧？做了吧？这个经历来的是吧？我的那是那个不说话是对的吧
？The second one is the inquiry into things is the search. This is an internal things and this is an external things. So internal things refers to things that is pervaded by one's that is pervaded by one's continuum. So such as one's own aggregates, the feeling aggregates, and one's own feeling aggregates, and etc. And that is an external things. External things refers to those refer to those that are not pervaded by one's continuum, such as the external forms and etc.
那松柏的话，那松柏的话是请你说的话，松柏请你说说，那请你说呢，那让给请的这请你些，让给这次听我们一把些，让给请的听我们一把些，这请的听我们是的话，你等待的有。
And the third modes of inquiry is the 2 modes of inquiry into characteristics. So characteristics or characters. Then this is the defining characteristics of something. So another translation for this is specific character. And that is a general characteristics, then refers, in other words, is general character. So specific character and general character. Or this is unique or common. And that is, this is unique means uncommon. And that is shared means common. So the common and the common one refers to general character, and the uncommon one refers to specific character.
다 간다 랑게 친이다 지 친이스 로가데 랑게 친이다 랑고 랑게 티모 마이바 베나 베샤바이나 네이 차와데 네 랑게 네이 차와데 네 랑게 티모 마이바 지레마도 피나게 인도서 요 말와
메이 차와데
네이
메이
차와데 네 랑게 랑게 티모 마이바 지시지로와 네나시 랑게 친이서다 뭐다 랑게 티모 마이바 지시 틀자 로와 랑게 친 랑게 친이서다 이 추이나 레시요 로와 레시와 저 랑게 티모 마이바 지자고 로와 다 좋아이나 랑기 좋아 대화가 되는와 이 요라 좋아 대화 되는 요라 어디서 랑기 진이잖아 랑기 기모 많이 주지 쓰자 랑기
초와 대한 대도데
좋아 랑기 좋아 대화가 되는 노아 좋아 요라 좋아 동안 좋아 담요서 요아 어디서 랑기 좋아서 좋아 대화 되는 랑기 주지라 쓰지 않으시 랑기 진이스
랑기 통모 많이 베
랑기
개최나
주지
체니
요라 어디 랑기 진이스 쓰자 딱 되고시는 어서 매일 차와대 매일 차와대 매 거랑 팀모 많이 같이 차대로
So to understand this specific character, general character, or common character, or uncommon character, then the examples are like fires burning. So burning is the character, uncommon character of fire, and water is how's it moistening, is moistening or moisturizing. Then it is the uncommon character of water. So similarly, the feeling of pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral then is the uncommon character of feeling.
어디로 아무나 어디 어찌 진라 뭐라 다 시이진이 소화된 가서 미다보다 다음에 받아서 소리 가다 미다보다 다음에 받아서 찔러 택하고 이리와 미다바 있는 빈디시 강가라 파차디로와 이 찔러 봐 차지지로와 뭐뭐 용수도 발라 차지 차다 미다바서 나 다음에 소화도 주 용수도 발라 파차디로와 이 첩되었습니다 그 솔다 소 그거 소스들와 무슨 다 솔딩 파 소화치야로와 뭐
그탐지 이제 캡이오로.
차도하대. 다 바이나 니시기 추가 차도와. 다음에서 다 지용도 차도와. 아무다 가리는 소마 차도다 다음에서. 와. 된데스다. 그래서 이 재미네서.
두시 나에데 체니디 요바.
재미. 나 니시 그게 재미로와. 미도하다 보니 내가 보다 무슨 지 재미네. 가르라. 니시 용수도 봐. 당신이 봐 용도를 파티 좀 파티. 저거 소마 차도.
성마데요. 성마 체니디 요리.
아무리 요리서. 와. 가자 그 다음에 봐. 다음에 봐라 그래. 다음에 봐도 아 신체가 건강 건강을 봐 다음에 봐도 착이랬어. 착되었을 때 지치는 예서.
So general character or common character, for example, impermanence and selflessness, then they are general character or they are common characters. So they are the character that are common to other phenomena, or they are a common character that pervades many others. So, for example, impermanence is a general pervader of all compounded things. So if it is a compounded things, then it has this character. Therefore, it's called general character, or it shares the common character of being impermanent. Then selflessness is the pervader of all phenomena. So as long as it is a phenomenon, then it is selfless. Therefore, it's called a general character or common character.
다 좋아들어도 좋아서데 좋아들어 된다. 이만 가지고 좋아만 더 자요. 나 좋아서데 나서 나주다 죄다 이미지 거는 좋아다.高兴了 인기가 표현 거는 좋아서 그니 뭐니도
So the inquiry into categories, look at the category of non-virtue in terms of faults and shortcomings, and the category of virtue in terms of excellent qualities and benefits.
当时哪说的高兴说记得上家伙的说了长时间，说个别呢，哪说的是年龄的或者是哪说人个别，我是怎么给小孩子把真的必须的话，
是
我是上另外一说，那人个另外是没给小孩谈这些呢，哪必须的，他没给小孩有些呢年龄这不还是有的，他是这个就是对话嘛，是吧？必须了，真的可以吧？哪必须小孩子呢？然后出家的，我说我的没给小，给了就是呢，为了年龄搞的用的， 다른 경우도 뒤쪽이 되나 써야 돼. 좋아. 어때나 줘야 돼. 나셔서
So the category of non-virtue, then you relate to you relate it to yourself. That was it the three doors, the non-virtuous actions of my three doors. So you think about the faults and shortcomings of those non-virtues of my three doors. For example, how's it? What would be the results that it will bring forth, and etc.
나 가쇼 로도아. 가쇼 세와된 간소 인리나 뒤에 거기서 땅을 유스보데 아 게이샤와 라블라 빠습니다. 창주신다. 전부다 민지로서 봤대. 라베 저 뭐제바이나 그냥 가르도 민린 가르 용도 보다 저 제바치야 와. 보다 제바치야 돼. 가서 가쇼라. 피어나 이게 서 와. 그 야의 수도라 수도라 자리 셰버래. 상당한 랑을 랑빌라 치자리 상당 셰버. 니니다 이게 사마 와.
Hmm. And the category of virtue. So in the category of virtue, again, you relate to yourself the virtue of your own three doors. So, for example, training in engage in the three trainings, cultivations of love, cultivations of compassions. Then you think about what are the benefits of doing so, what are the good qualities of doing so.
다 그린 대샤기 남만 루트 섬을 저 두런 루트 섬을 와 컨트롤 섬을 드린 대샤기 제일 맞은 다 문티는 만도와 이런 것도 이슈와 어디는 만도야 있어.
So stop here, and next class I will start from the inquiry into time.
아무도 비즈다 저한테 되지 모두 뭐더라 와. 다 저한테 제만 있어.
Yeah, so we don't have much time for question and answer. Then if you have any, then please ask in next class.
아무도 비즈 원들 되게 집대만 되거든. 로아디오 공사 정거 좀 충분히 된지 지니까 사서 가는 수도 때마다 무슨 이제 뭐 수도 되고 안가나 끓이려고 제대로 쓰는 구성을 완전 양식 중에 있는 거 완전히 이렇게라다 만투 이제 쉬려고도 만투 서파 이렇게도 만투 대지 시대 친구들 제가 체크와 통해서 디바다는 선지 공부가 해도 돼요. 완전히 유튜브는 동아시 대바 마음에 너무 구세 많이 왔다 같이 이유와 어디 되게 치도 방어하지 히스토리로.
So we conclude this lesson with dedication. We dedicate these roots of virtue to flourishing of Buddha Dharma and to the excellent happiness of all sentient beings. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue for all upholders of Buddha's teaching, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live eons long and to have good health. And may all their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread in all the directions. In particular, we dedicate these roots of virtue for our own beloved teacher, Kyabshe Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May Rinpoche be swiftly, may the unmistaken reincarnations of Rinpoche be swiftly returned and continue to turn the wheel of Dharma for the sake of teachings and sentient beings, so that we will have the opportunity to receive the precious teachings from Rinpoche again. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to the world peace, and may excellent happiness prevail in the world. May wars and conflicts that is getting worse and worse nowadays, then may wars and conflicts, pandemic, disaster and natural disaster, and any unconducive conditions be pacified immediately. Immediately. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to all sentient beings, and especially those who pass away and those who suffer because of these unconducive conditions. May their negativities be pacified immediately and quickly achieve the state of enlightenment. Sabeke wadi tendang rowa kun la kampe nang cheba jesun lo sang rawa yi teme ni mori do se jin shu sanju se jo rin bo che ma ke pa na ki yu ke che pa nyam ba me ba yang kuye kun do pe wa shu ya pe pa we ji da ke pa dang sang bo de ya ke shi de da ke ki che so da su ji ki wa de da ta che ra do mo tu ni da wa rin bo che ma che pa na ki yu ke pa nyam ba me ba yang kuye kun do pe wa shu ri ni da wa rin bo che ma che pa na ki yu ke Mune kondo pewa sho kuni ni je su do ju be la chi je se se kan je de de ke chana pe mo de ting ga zo la so de so je de le do sho ji de kan de pe de ma de ba kan le ju ye sam be shin do ka de su be de ting ga zo la so de so du je
人着学当面对方见身体让做路上见话也是就把这让下西将有嘛准备准备把准备给备注我所准备主题人把这些到准备自己给完了同样不是准备国家人准备这些那么说话的本地法律军委不行也听到嘛就着也听到许多政府这个我都不能计划是的应该往回到去做各种进行这些那些主题老婆觉得没得没样做上的也是对性别的有些说啊，说也不也行啊，你别到的话，马上就给你贴着我真正叫做元宵的时间吧。